Good morning. Is it morning still? Yes, it is morning. So I'm really excited today. This podcast is going to be slightly different. Usually we're talking about ladies. Oh, look at the beautiful dog. Ladies and things they've been through. Well, it is going to be a bit like that. But what I thought was, in my perimenopause group, I have lots of ladies asking about supplementation. I'm a holistic wellness coach, menopause wellness coach, and I teach the ladies to change their lifestyle to help with their symptoms. And then I always say, on top of the HRT, try this supplement, that supplement. And then I thought, right, I'm going to get these two lovely ladies who know a lot about the supplements I take, because they take the same ones. And they've been kind enough to dedicate their time for me today to have a chat about them. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Tina if you'd like to introduce yourself first, and then we'll go over to the lovely Debbie.
Oh, thank you, Jo. And thank you so much for asking us on. It's really great to be here. And yes, it's a beautiful dog, but she's very naughty. She looks nice, but anyway. So yeah, my name is Tina Gillis, and I am 52 this year, so I'm in that definite kind of age. And so I'm really, really passionate about coming on here and chatting with you today, Jo. And I was a physiotherapist for 16 years. I worked within the NHS and then also the private sector. So health has always been something that was very important to me. And I thought I knew a lot about this, but when it came to me hitting the menopause and experiencing things, when it's yourself, it's a whole different ball game. Yeah. So yes, I have used a lot of supplements, same as you, Jo, and with some really, really positive results. So that physio head and that medical background was really useful. But I needed to take advice as well when it came to me. So now I've kind of got advice for me, and I've got advice that I can give everyone else. So yeah. Over to you, Debs.
Thank you. So I'm Debbie Nwangwa, and I am 45. I had to think about that then.
Stop remembering that when we get to a certain age, don't we?
I know, yeah. My son called me 43 the other day because I had my ear pierced up here, and he said, "Are you not too old for that, Mum, at 43?" And I was like, "I'm taking 43 if you think I'm 43." He'd obviously forgotten. But so for me, I don't have tons and tons of the kind of traditional sort of perimenopause symptoms, but the ones that I do have, I've found great benefit from supplementing my diet so that they don't rear their ugly head on a daily basis. So yeah, I'm really, really thrilled that I've found things that can give me that kind of comfort.
Well, when I went through perimenopause really early, like 38, I'm now 56. I was 56 2 days ago, actually. And I didn't know until I studied menopause and became a wellness coach. I didn't realize that I was going through it. And I actually started using the supplements we're going to talk about 10 years ago, and without realizing that they were helping me through the perimenopause. I just thought they were helping me with different things that I was going through not exercising enough or bad diet or whatever. It's not until now when I look back and I think, oh, okay. And now, I don't need to use all the ones that I used before, but I still do continue to use some on a daily basis. But we'll talk about that. So I think we can talk about the gel first. Shall we talk about the gel first?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I'm going to just bring a slide up onto the screen.
You're very organised, Jo. I'm going to jump in here because while you get a little bit of info up, Jo, I have been drinking aloe vera for 16 years now, and I had no menopause symptoms until the age of 50. And I kind of thought, because I drink so much aloe, I'm not going to get any symptoms at all. And, I was feeling, quite good in lots of respects. However, I did then start to sort of experience certain symptoms. But from having chats with a couple of medical friends of mine, they really do think that drinking aloe did make a difference in kind of keeping a lot of the symptoms at bay until my hormone levels changed significantly. So the main reason for that is that aloe vera is a phytoestrogen, and phytoestrogens have been shown to, and I didn't know this all those years ago when I was 35, 40, whatever, because I didn't need to know it. But it's been shown that phytoestrogens can like really have an effect on some of the menopausal symptoms, perimenopausal symptoms, hot flashes, mood swings, and things like that. So they're not going to necessarily stop someone having any of those things. But certainly I believe, because I'd been drinking a significant amount of aloe, building up to coming up to those ages, that it definitely helped me, like I say, until my hormones reached a point where I needed to be looking at a few other things. So I've drunk that plain aloe, that yellow bottle there, which tastes like aloe vera. The others are a little bit much more fruity and delicious, but I like to get as much aloe in as possible. Has made a big difference to me. And I didn't see a doctor, didn't feel I needed to see a doctor, because everything I was managed really well on these and a couple of other supplementations until I was 51. Whereas my sister, who hasn't been drinking aloe, 44, she, and I know people are genetically, different, and maybe she takes more after my mum. She's experienced many more and much more severe symptoms than I have. So yeah, I can highly recommend drinking the gel.
I think you're right there, Tina, because when I started taking drinking gel and I had loads of perimenopause symptoms, I started feeling better, but I didn't. Then I changed my diet as well and was exercising, but I didn't join the dots until later on. I was like, oh my God, I've been drinking it that long now.
Yeah.
That definitely must have helped when I realized how it does help you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I didn't know.
And if you look around the world, there's certain countries such as Japan where I'm sure you already know this, Jo, where the women don't experience anywhere near the amount of menopause symptoms as some of the European countries, and it's because of their foods and certain things that are rich in their foods, and phytoestrogen is one of those. So culturally, we're predisposed because we don't get enough of products with food groups with phytoestrogens in our natural day-to-day diets.
I was just going to add as well that I don't drink the yellow bottle. I'm a bit of a wimp. And I actually drink the second one along that you can see on the screen there, which has got apple and cranberry added to it. And I originally started drinking this probably 14 and a half years ago. And for me, it was because I had things like IBS and not a great gut. So, I've obviously taken it for that many years for that reason. And I love the taste. It's a bit more tangy with the apple and the cranberry in there. So it is for, people that can't stomach.
A bit more enjoyable to drink.
Yeah, absolutely. And my boys, they're 19 and 22 and they drink the berry nectar as well. It's just that nice.
My boys drink the mango. They like the sweet taste of the mango because they used to drink, when we lived in the Middle East, they used to drink mango juice all the time. And then when because the mango didn't come in till later, did it?
No.
When it came in, I said, oh, try this. And now I have to stop them from drinking it like it's juice. I'm like, think of it as a medicine.
Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I say, think of it as a juice. Get more and more in them. So my daughter will drink the berry, the peaches, or the mango. So we have one of each in the fridge. And then she just kind of glugs it down.
I'd be cost me a fortune if I said treat it like a juice. They'd be like,
2 boys, yes.
Yeah, way too much. But on this, I'd like to go on to the next slide that I've got, because I used to drink Freedom, which I don't anymore because I don't feel the need for it. But I would drink Freedom in the evening and the Pure in the morning when I needed help with my joints. So can you tell us a bit more about this one, ladies?
Yeah, I'll jump in here because this product here was the product that brought me, attracted me to our product range. When I was a physiotherapist, somebody introduced me to this product because they thought it might be beneficial to me and my physio clients, because obviously as a physio, you get a lot of people coming to you with joint issues, so osteoarthritis, wear and tear conditions, which this is amazing for. And so it's plain aloe with added glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM. So it's aloe in its purest forms is naturally pain-killing, naturally anti-inflammatory. As Deb said, great for the gut health. And, as I'm sure, Jo, you've talked about before, gut health is so important for every other aspect of your physical, mental health, so many knock-on effects. But the Forever Freedom, I had great results with a lot of my patients back when I was a physio, whether they were sporty. So I had quite a lot of rugby players that were trying to protect their joints for the future, because if you damage your joints when you're young, you can then quite likely you'll have osteoarthritis when you're older. So this is great for anybody. Obviously, this is non-menopausal, but this is great for anyone that's young and doing contact sports of any sort, rugby, boxing, a lot of running, anything that's jarring on the joints. But then as we get older, if we do have joint problems, this is a great product to take. And as you said, Joe, the plain aloe in the morning, great, because you get all the gut health, the immune system benefits and everything, the cleansing benefits, and then get this in the evening if you have a joint problem. Absolutely fantastic product. Some people get what's called menopause. Sorry, I'm going into physio mode here. Some people get what's called menopausal arthritis, where their joints can become quite inflamed.
A friend of mine has, and I've got this. Yeah.
So some people find that they respond to this with the menopausal arthritis. Some people find they respond to one of the other non-glucosamine products. Some people like to have a mix of both, like you did. So these aren't cure-alls. These are natural products. So sometimes it's about playing around with them to see what each individual responds to.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I was saying to a friend of mine, because she's like, oh, I can't afford to buy that. And I was like, we'll treat it as a medicine again. I use that quite a lot. And just have your shot, your 60 mil. I have 120 mil, but if finances are tight, 60 mil a day is going to make a huge difference. Not taking it.
And I think also when it comes down to, what is the monetary cost of a product, certainly I've, as I've got older, I view things in quite a different way, in that we've got to look at what is the value of something on the impact it has on our lives. So if somebody is having joint problems, whether it's due to menopause, arthritis, weight gain, or anything like that, that's limiting their daily mobility and they're not doing what they want to do each day. So the actual value in this is that they're going to be able to start doing what they want to do again. But when someone isn't mobile enough, that's when you get into, weight gain, metabolic disorders, and things that then have a knock-on effect to everything. So, a bit of financial cost now, the value on that in your long-term future is, it outweighs it by a lot, and for me, with my customers, when I was a physio, with the people that would pay for physiotherapy, it's a choice. It's, what are you choosing to spend your money on? My mum used to buy this, and she would rather buy this. She's no longer with us. It's not that she's stopped drinking it, but she used to buy this and forego something else. She said, I would rather spend my money on this than have, a bit of cake when I go to the garden centre with my coffee, because she felt the benefits of this so much. Yeah.
Well, a coffee these days, how much is a coffee? It's ridiculous.
£4 is the minimum you're going to get black Americano for.
Twice about paying for a coffee, would you? And that's, not health benefit. Anyway. Anything to add there, Debs?
Just that my other half drinks this, but he's heavily into his weight training. So, I don't drink it. I thankfully, touch wood, don't have any, joint related issues. But yeah, he uses this one, and my rugby playing son as well. So
I'll move on to this. This is a big one in my group as well. So many ladies have the gut issues, and I tell them about the drinking gel, but I quite often forget to tell them about this great product, which is crazy because I used to take it myself and I forget that it's there.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think as well, just before Tina goes into more of the kind of the synergistic side of the probiotic, is the way that I think of the probiotics is the drinking gel is my prebiotic.
Yeah.
Because of all the nutrients, enzymes, amino acids, and all of that it's got in the pure aloe vera inner leaf gel. And this is my probiotic. So as long as I'm taking both, then I'm giving, my gut everything that it needs first thing in the morning.
Can you explain the difference between pro and pre for the ladies watching, if they don't know?
I'm going to pass over to Tina.
Thank you so much, Debs. So people will have heard of probiotics. They've been around for 20, 30 years, and a lot of it was in those little kind of yogurt drinks that you would buy in the refrigerated counter in the supermarket. What studies have now gone on to show is that they are just very commercial. That's all very much marketing, because any product that has a lot of sugar in is actually going to damage or even negate any benefits from the probiotic in there. So you can buy things off the shelf that are going to work as a probiotic. You can get kefir products, anything that you pickle, kimchi, any foods that you want to add like that are really, really good for your probiotic health. So a probiotic helps your what's called your all the microbes in your tummy. So you've got like healthy bacteria that are all living in there. There's thousands and thousands, and that balance can be tipped and become an unhealthy balance because the bacteria that cause illness and inflammation can get too high, and the bacteria that cause good that lead to the good things becomes too low. What probiotic does is it keeps it all in a nice balance. So if you imagine your kind of gut is a bit like a beautiful garden full of all these different microbes and everything that are going to keep you healthy physically, mentally. It's going to make a big difference. Your prebiotic is what you're going to take beforehand, and what that's going to do is prepare. It is a bit like putting, if you're growing a nice lawn, it's a bit like putting down some food for the grass to grow. So you put your prebiotic down on the grass, and then you're going to plant your grass seeds. So probiotic is something people are much more familiar with. A prebiotic is something that's only really been talked about for the last 2 or 3 years. We've had aloe growing for 45, 46 years as a company. I've been taking it for 16 years, Deb for 15 years. We didn't even know we were taking a prebiotic.
No.
Okay. So it just means it's something that's going to enable probiotics to do their very best job that they can. Definitely.
I like to say, sorry, Tina.
No, go on.
I like to say, like, prebiotics feeds your good bacteria, and probiotics kills the bad bacteria. Out, is that right?
Good way to think about it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
good. Pro kills bad.
Yeah. I mean, it just keeps it all in balance. A probiotic keeps it in balance. So yeah, effectively, a probiotic will encourage the good bacteria as well. Which is why people get benefits just from taking a probiotic. But having a prebiotic will maximize the benefits of your probiotic. And I didn't know quite how significant a probiotic was on mental health until 6 months ago. And this was due to menopause. I found my anxiety went through the absolute roof, and I started needing to have some counselling, some therapy for my anxiety. And the first thing my wonderful therapist said was, "Are you taking a probiotic?" And I said, "Well, actually, I've really neglected all my supplements for the last couple of months. Why do you ask?" And she said, "I get all of the people that come to me, whatever I am, whatever they're having therapy for, they need to be on a probiotic because the impact on your mental health from a probiotic is so significant." And although I knew there was this connection,
don't they?
have a psychotherapist say you must take a probiotic, and she's coming from purely the mental side of things. It's huge.
That's interesting, really interesting. There's so many ladies in my group that are struggling with anxiety, so they'll be pleased to hear.
Probiotics can have a direct effect to depression, anxiety. Again, it's not going to cure it, but it can have a positive effect on those different feelings.
It's all those little things you do, isn't it? Look after your gut, exercise, sleep, all those things.
5% here, 5% here, 5% here. It all adds up, and then you feel significantly better over time. None of this is a quick fix.
Yeah,
definitely.
Adding that back in.
Yeah.
Oh, got a hang of this.
You're slick, Joe. You are slick.
I'm a pro. Okay, multi-matter. This is a big one, isn't it?
Definitely. Do you take this yet, Debs, or are you okay?
I actually take it because I like the fact that it helps the libido.
I was about to say, I know why you.
I've got it. I've been through divorce, and now I'm 5 years into a relationship. So I purely take it for that reason, and I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Well, that could be. You said you don't have any symptoms. If your libido was low, that is a symptom.
It would have helped. So I take it for that reason, not because I get hot flushes, and I'm really, really fortunate that I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take it for that reason, and they work.
Don't yet.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But I used to take this. I used to take it, but I don't feel the need for it anymore.
Yeah.
But when I took it, it was because I was having hot flushes, and it really helped.
Yeah, it's great for it's really helped me with energy levels, definitely. It does take, I had a lady, she'd got through a pot and a half, so she'd been on it for about 6 weeks, and she said, this is not doing anything. And I said, just keep going, keep going. She got to the end of her second pot, and she rang, so it was about 2 months, and she rang me and said, oh my gosh, something's changed. And I think it just takes those 6 or 7 weeks to actually, and maca root has an actual direct impact on hormone levels. So it's a natural Peruvian kind of herb that really can make a difference to things like libido, energy levels. So my ex-husband used to take this before a rugby match, nothing to do with menopause or libido or anything like that, but it just gives him a bit of energy.
Yeah.
So it's great for so many different things. There we go.
Maybe I'll start taking it again, because I forgot that it helps with brain fog.
Yeah, I've got customers that take this for brain fog.
So that's the only symptom that I still have now.
Ooh.
And it's usually if I haven't had 7 hours sleep, or if I've been really busy, my brain fog kicks in, you know. So I might start
definitely get back on it. This is also vital in any household where you've got, like me in the menopause, and a daughter that has very, very menstrual kind of depressions and anxieties.
Teenage boy, so lots of
so
going
so this is great, certainly for time of the month for girls. So my daughter's been on this since she was about 12, and literally I do not let her out the front door until she's had it, because I'm not putting up with the moods.
Yeah, I might get some more of this in and plow it into me and my son.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great one.
This is my favorite. I take this every day. I've been taking this from the day it was launched. How long ago was it launched? 3 years?
About 2.5 years now.
Yeah. So I started taking this, and my husband noticed before I noticed. I noticed my skin and my legs were really soft, and I got into bed and I couldn't stop stroking myself. He's like,
oh, you two, keep it clean.
But he noticed on my face, and he said that my jowls kind of started.
Amazing.
But I originally started taking it for my joints, because I said I was taking the Freedom, because I really struggled with knee and shoulder joints, which is very menopausal, and my hips. So I got all the other benefits. My hair felt thicker, and all the other benefits of skin and everything. But yeah, I love this, and I'm too scared to stop taking it.
That's the thing. Yes.
Yeah. It makes a massive difference, obviously, to hair, skin, and nails. But yeah, and it tastes lovely as well. Like, I'm not a fish fan. I hate fish, actually. Like, everybody that knows me knows don't feed Debbie fish.
And some of the collagen supplements out there, they are just vile, aren't they?
This tastes like it just reminds me of Haribo Tang Plastics.
Yeah, it's quite tangy, isn't it? It's quite sharp, but so much better. I've tried 3 other collagen, and just to taste them, there's no way I would have taken them. This is so much better, and better as a product as well.
I think the difference with this as well is the fact that it's not just got one type of collagen in it. Like, it's got 8 types of collagen, which is why it's not just for hair, skin, and nails. It's for joints, it's for eyes, it's for cartilage, it's for literally everything that needs collagen inside our bodies. It will go and it helps you produce more collagen as well, which is just insane.
And also it's got biotin in, hasn't it? I think, and for me, so for me, I've been taking it since it was launched 2.5 years ago, and I took it because it was launched, and I thought, well, I need to take it to see what the effects are. And within, a few weeks, I'd noticed a difference on my skin. But within 18 months, and I wasn't even looking out for this, I noticed that I'd started to get very kind of, do they call it a widow's peak? That's not a very nice phrase, is it? But where your hair starts really receding here. I've definitely got that. And then after 18 months, I thought, my hair's thickening up. And so all around here, I'd got new hair growth.
Exactly the same.
Yeah. Which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't thinking about that. But that's for me. I was like, wow, and that must have been, the hair was thinning due to menopause and stress, probably, and anxiety. It's a vicious circle, isn't it, when the hormones are doing their thing? And for me to just know, oh my gosh, I'm not going to lose my hair, it's not going to get all really, really thin, I will not stop taking this. for that reason. I'll keep the wrinkles and but no, it helped the skin as well. But hair, whew.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't take it for wrinkles. I took it for my joints. But yeah, it was my husband that noticed my wrinkles.
Yeah,
He
gorgeous skin's just side effects. I think as a physio, again, knowing what collagen does on the inside of the body to help your joints, it also does help your gut, because there's collagen in the tissue of your gut. So again, it fits in with everything we've just said. But the physio in me thought, this is such a great product to be putting in my body for so many different reasons. But if you get great skin from it, that's just a sign of what's going on inside, because you can then see that it's working and know that it's doing good inside. So yeah, I love this product.
And I recall a training I watched when it was first launched about it, some of the ingredients in it. Doesn't it help you make your own collagen again?
Yes. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because it's got all of the different types of collagen and the added zinc, etc., and vitamin C. It actually helps kind of the collagen factories in your body to work optimally, because that's what happens when we go past 25. Our body's just not working to create its own collagen, so it just drops down about 1% a year, drops, and then when we hit whatever age, you actually physically see it. But from those younger ages, you will have been feeling the effects internally as well. So yes, it's going to help your body kind of just promote its own collagen, whereas a lot of products won't do that.
Good. Okay, what's next?
You
can tell that was one of our favourites.
Yeah.
Bee
pollen. So I take this for my hay fever, but it's good for lots of
big
things,
one.
Isn't it?
Yeah, hay fever is a big one, but it's also it's like a superfood, because it's from the beehive. So lots and lots of research that you can do on bee pollen and why it's so good for your body, but it is a superfood. My boys took this when they were doing GCSEs, just because it gave them that little bit more kind of clarity and concentration, a bit of energy and things like that. So safe.
That's good to know, because my son's doing his GCSEs now. So
oh yeah, definitely.
As well.
Definitely. And anyone that works in a job where they have that kind of, I have a lot of teachers that buy this because they want that little pick up after kind of 1 o'clock. They've come back after lunch, they're feeling a bit sluggish. A couple of these can really kind of pep up the energy. It's packed full of like B vitamins. I can't list them all at the moment, but your B vitamins are really important when you're going through menopause or other things. So this is great, suitable for all ages. My daughter and son have taken this since they were very young. Son had hay fever. Daughter just got it because she was the younger child, and she just got given whatever he got. But also I was reading the other day, because I'm now very much into reading stuff about menopause, and there is some research that shows that bee pollen can have a direct effect on things like hot flushes, and certain kind of like the night sweats type of things. I don't know exactly how it does that. I'll have to read a little bit more. I think it's to do with vasomotor. I don't know if that's a sort of phrase that's thrown around in your group, Joe. It's to do with kind of the vasomotor side of things. So energy or menopausal things. And it's just a fantastic multi-B vitamin, as in the letter B, not the buzzy bee.
Yeah. And I'm sure it must help with my joints as well, because I take it all year round, because I'm allergic to cats, and I've got a cat that sleeps on my face pretty much. I take it all year round for that.
Yeah.
And I know that it helps joints as well.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it for my joints. But
well, I suppose with regards to the joints, I mean, inflammation in the body is linked with metabolic disorders and things, and menopause. Any metabolic disorders are things where the body's just out of kilter for whatever reason, and it's not functioning optimally. If bee pollen is going to have an effect on inflammation and things like that, just by making your body work better. So yeah, definitely could have an impact on your joints. Never really thought of that. Definitely.
Yeah.
And then they're little, they're very they're not big tablets or anything. That you can see there on the picture is bits of pollen that is then pressed into little dry capsules, which are chewable, and I'd say they taste a bit like
mine are downstairs.
Honey and cardboard.
I don't think so. They're really sweet. I like chewing them.
But they're dry, is what I mean.
Yeah, they're very dry.
I'm really promoting this product, aren't I? Honey flavored cardboard. But you can also crumble them up, you know, put them on yogurt or put them on anything like that. So yeah.
Never thought of doing that.
And if you've got a late night drive, they're brilliant. If you don't want to drink caffeine, have a few of those, crunch them. Within 15 minutes or so, you will really be given an energy boost. They'll keep you awake, and you don't have that dip like you would with caffeine. Amazing.
They actually help you sleep by taking them in the morning for your energy.
Yep.
Then you naturally get tired at night. But yes, if you've got like if something you need to stay awake for, then you take more, don't you, to keep them awake? So then they'll have the opposite effect.
Definitely.
I love it when certain things help with not just the one thing that they're sold for. You know, they help with.
And I think that's key with a natural product, because you're taking the best of nature and science, which is what we do, isn't it? I suppose you're taking the natural products do multiple things because they're a natural product. It's only sort of synthetic drug. Well, synthetic drugs usually do lots of things, but some of the things they do are negative. Whereas, you know, a natural product is going to have all these different benefits, and some people feel the benefits more than others in different areas. So, yeah, I love it. It's really interesting.
And if some of the ladies are on medication, will they need to? Because I always say check with your doctor.
Yeah,
I say that to cover my back, but do I need to say that?
I always would, because, you know, we're not. I mean, although I was a physiotherapist, we're not medical professionals in the sense that we're not a doctor, we're not prescribers. So it is always best if somebody is on medication to check with their GP. If you are on, you know, some medications, you'll know that's fine for me. I can take bee pollen. It's not a problem. It's not going to interact with anything that I'm on. If you're on anything for things like diabetes, blood pressure,
blood thinners,
epilepsy, or any blood thinners, they're the key things that you need to discuss with your GP. You know, but there's certain things, you know, because a lot of these products are natural. You could go into a shop and buy something similar. It wouldn't be as good, but you could buy something similar. The person that sells you that product's not going to ask you any medical questions. However, we like to make sure people get like the optimum service, the optimum advice. So we do suggest, you know, speaking to your GP if you've got any of those major health problems or you're on any medications for them.
Good. I usually say that just
yeah.
Oh, I brought my two favourite.
I've never taken bee jelly. I don't know why. Why do I need to? Tell me.
Oh, for me, it's sleep. Like, I literally, everywhere I go, these go with me. So if I'm away, even just for one night, these go with me. They're in my handbag if I'm out for the entire day or doing a presentation or something. When I went through divorce, my anxiety was through the roof, and I started taking these because I was recommended that they were really good for anxiety and kind of panic attacks and things like that. And I've just continued to keep taking them. So whenever I do get that kind of fluttery feeling of anxiety, you know, whether it's to do with people's menopause or just in general life, you know, things happening, then you just literally take one or two of these, and within minutes you can notice the difference.
Really? See, that's so good to know, because there's so many ladies in my group that suffer with anxiety and it affects their sleep and everything. And I've never, ever recommended royal jelly.
So for sleep, I take one or two of these. I just literally either let it go underneath my tongue just whilst I'm kind of getting into that kind of mode of, you know, it's sleep time now, where, you know, winding down at the end of the night. But yeah, it's honestly a game changer for sleep. I cannot live without these things, and it's natural, and they taste nice. They taste of like orange. So
if someone was taking it for anxiety and sleep,
you can take multiple ones of these throughout the day.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right, that's really good to know.
It's
a game changer.
And there's actually studies out there. They've done some studies that looked at royal jelly supplementation, and they did have a direct effect on the severity of menopausal symptoms. So again, it's a natural product. It has kind of estrogen-like effects. So for ladies whose estrogen levels have dropped, it is, even if you're on HRT, to counteract that, just having a natural product like royal jelly to help with, you know, some of those menopausal symptoms can be something really nice to add in. So yeah, it's not just us saying, oh, this could really help with, you know, anxiety or menopause. It has been shown to help people with anxiety and menopause and some of the other symptoms. And
Oh,
like
I didn't know that. I've had this at my fingertips.
oh,
Yeah.
it's a good job we've had this chat.
I know.
No, you will thank us. Honestly, just try it. It's just insane. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Okay, this is what I take every day as well.
Yeah,
A
100%.
must, isn't it?
Oh gosh, yes. Again, this is one that I make my teenage daughter have as well, because hormones are hormones.
Yeah, my boys take these as well.
Yeah, definitely. Is this one you take or not, Debs?
I'm terrible. No, I always forget to take these. I'm really, really
Oh,
bad.
gosh.
I'm
You
really
wait another couple of years, you won't be forgetting to take anything.
These are a must, Deb. You should get these into your system now.
I know.
Definitely,
They are literally downstairs. Just don't take them.
Oh, really?
Omega-3 is really, really important. The reason I love ours is that they have, they obviously are a fish-based product, but they also have calamari oil in, which has some really, really great benefits. But Arctic Sea, from a physio point of view, is great for your joints because it's naturally anti-inflammatory. It's really, really good to get into your system. But also, it's a good fat, and if you take a good fat, it can help your body to, metabolize your unhealthy fats. It also, this is one that you might want to take more of, Joe, if you've got a bit of brain fog, because omegas are really important for what's called your myelin sheath, which is the coating on all of your nerves. And as we know, when the nerves that are sort of in the brain and going up to the brain are a little bit sluggish due to hormones, fatigue, age, different, health conditions, omegas actually help to line those, to coat those myelin sheaths, to help the nerves fire a bit more. So really, really great for the old brain fog. Mood swings, hot flushes, Arctic Sea can help with. So yeah, I've always taken this product for all of the above reasons. I've got a very bad knee, very arthritic knee from an old injury, so I've always taken this for the anti-inflammatory benefits. Then when I hit the good old menopause, I was taking a little bit more of it each day just to try and
maybe I've taken this for years, but maybe when I'm having those brain fog days, I'll up the dosage.
Yeah. In fact, we do have another amazing product for brain fog, but we'll have to leave that for another day, I think. I'm not sure we'll have time for that today, but the Focus.
Yeah. I think because there's so many products, isn't there? Before it's like,
it's about people finding out, because though we say these products help with all these things, when we have a chat with someone, it's quite easy to work out which combination of 2 or 3 will work best for that person. And then I would say to somebody, right, you're going to take this for 6 to 8, let's say 8 weeks, then we'll reassess. And sometimes one of those products can be, taken out, something else added in until we find the kind of perfect formula. So it's not that someone has to take, I mean, I do take most of these, I'll be honest, but definitely, let's have a chat another day about a Focus, because that's, that's a really good
weight management as well is a whole other subject for another day.
Because obviously, as we get older and we gain weight, that makes all the menopausal symptoms worse, because there's a two-way street with your hormones are changing because of the menopause, and then you gain weight, and that has an impact on your hormones and your insulin levels and how your body deals with everything, and it can feel like a vicious circle sometimes. Certainly for me it did, until I kind of took a step back and thought, right, well, how do I stop that circle? How do I make it,
you want to wind up rather than wind down?
And just by being consistent with the supplements. I mean, I didn't ever stop taking my aloe, but last summer when I just was feeling a bit I just wasn't on top of my supplements, and by just adding in some of these key products, made that change and turned the downward spiral, like you say, into a slow, it wasn't overnight, but it made a huge impact.
It's a little bit of everything, isn't it, to make that spiral go up?
Definitely. And I think sometimes people think, well, a bit like me, I've got, an injury, I'm waiting for surgery. There's very limited exercise, I can't get out, I'm on crutches. Oh, I can't do that. When you're in a sort of situation, and I think a lot of ladies at certain points in their life do feel in that situation, I can't do these things, therefore there's no point making any positive changes. Whereas what I had to do was sit down and write a list of, okay, what can I do? Right. I can drink more water. I can look at the time I'm going to bed at night. I can reduce my caffeine. I can sit in a chair and just do some upper body exercises to get my circulation going. Oh my gosh, suddenly I feel mentally a bit better. Okay, now what supplements am I going to add in to lift that even more? So whatever situation someone is in, as a physio, I would ask, right, what are you struggling with? What can't you do? Now, when I work, especially with women that are, of our age, and even people that are younger, well, what can you do? Let's build on that, because it's a much nicer way of working.
Yeah.
And it's not so overwhelming then, is it? When you say do this, do that, do that, do that, they're like, oh, where do I start?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
Oops, what have I done there? Oh, there we go. I thought I was going to.
You thought you'd
didn't go in. Hold on. There we go. I thought, so well here. Something's going to go wrong. Now, when I was first introduced to Forever when I lived in the Middle East, and it was because of the weight loss products. When I saw a lady using like the 9-day plan, and Therm was part of it. And then since then, I learned more about Therm. So this is also a good one for your B vitamins, isn't it, Tina?
Yeah, definitely. So I always kind of think of the bee pollen as, it's just your bee pollen. It's got the B vitamins. It's going to give you that natural energy boost. Therm has got a few other kind of ingredients in it, such as, and I don't know exactly what, because I'm not, on top of my game. I think it has some, does Therm got some guarana or something like that in, Jo? Do you know?
I think it does.
Yeah, so it's got a few more kind of additional. Bee pollen is just pure pollen. There's nothing added to it. Whereas Therm is a multivitamin, still a completely natural supplement. Still got your B vitamins in there, as in B. It's got additional vitamin C and things like your guarana. So you shouldn't have this with coffee, whereas if you have bee pollen and coffee, it's not a problem. Whereas this, is almost an alternative to, a caffeine.
Yeah.
So for tiredness, metabolism, all of those things that Jo just mentioned, Forever Therm is
I've got
really
the ingredients in front of me now, so I'll just read it. So vitamin C, B6, B12, folic acid, metabolism supporting compounds. Hold on. Delivers caffeine from natural sources like guarana. Is that what you said?
Yeah, there we go.
Green coffee beans, unroasted. Contains high levels of important compounds. This carefully created formula contains a special combination of B6, B12, contributes to tiredness and fatigue, and the vitamin C in it helps normal energy yielding metabolism.
Yeah. So
B2 as well.
Yeah.
B2. Yeah.
So it's an absolutely fantastic product. This isn't going to do anything for hay fever or allergies or those sort of things where the bee pollen will. Bee pollen will give natural energy boosts. This will give a natural energy boost. Plus, you got that kick of natural caffeine in there as well. Basically, that's different. So if somebody says, my body doesn't cope with any sources of caffeine, I'll go for the bee pollen over this for energy. Bee pollen can also help with metabolism and can help towards weight loss and things. So again, these are two. I mean, I take both of these. Some days I want all the energy I can get.
If I'm wrong, correct me. But just from memory, from when I used to do, I still do once a year. But when I did the C9, I was told that this is in it because of the thermogenics.
Yes,
burns your. What's it do?
Does it help your metabolism work more effectively? So it's not like there's products out there, I don't even know the names of them, but they are thermogenic. It's thermogenic. There are products out there that are highly thermogenic. And most people, when they take them, will get heart palpitations. And your body's like doing its thing to like burn off more calories. That is not what this is like. This will support your metabolism to work more effectively. But does it in a thermogenic way, so it creates more kind of like
it helps turn your food into energy.
Yeah, effectively. Yes, but without all those, as long as somebody can take those natural caffeine sources, then that's absolutely fine.
Okay.
And I've only met one person in a few years that can't have any sort of caffeine at all.
Okay. Yeah, so they're a good one then, aren't they?
They're brilliant. Great to take before the gym as well. or if you're going for a day out and you want a little bit more energy than usual, or you're going out for the evening and you find your energy's dipping, therm can be quite good for that.
I think that was my last slide, but like
Oh,
I've got a whole nother PowerPoint, but we'll leave that for another day. We'll be here for,
definitely.
we'll be here for 45 minutes.
Oh wow. Yeah, we don't want people falling asleep listening to us.
No, I know. But it's so hard not to keep talking about them, isn't it? Like, so
and also to stop talking about like menopause and things, because I think when you find something that works, you want to talk about it and you want to tell other people about it. It's like anything, isn't it? Or like Debs, you with a bit of anxiety, when you find something that helps, you want to tell people, like, try this.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, we all do that whole social selling when we find something that we know works, that we absolutely love, that we're passionate about. It's so easy to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. That's been great.
Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate you giving your time to me today. Lots of ladies in my group are going to watch this and be going, oh, I need some of that. I need some of that.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can help as many people as possible. And let's have another chat at a later date, Jo, because like you say, there's the weight management, the focus. I'd love to tell people about Forever Focus. Again, my daughter's on that. She's got her A-levels coming up, and it actually has an effect on, your brain, your cognitive ability. So let's have another chat in the near future.
I'm going to be getting my son to take them all because he's doing his GCSEs now.
Oh, 100%.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.